that we're rolling.
Hell with everything.
Fan, have we gotten any bookings lately? I haven't seen. Well, we did get 2 last week. I told you, posting. Hey, we got 2. May is booked up. I need to tell my cousin May is booked up except one weekend. We are booked that day. Cousin Tina wanted to know. It's May 8th. Yep, May 8th we are booked. All right, let's pull me up, everybody. Happy Saturday morning to you. Who was looking forward to this?
Me.
You were drunk last night. Tell everybody why you got drunk last night, Drew. Let's celebrate. Noah's on here. Is Noah driving in a 1967?
And on the phone, are you swerving?
On the phone, swerving, antique car, driving down the interstate. I like it. If you're on here, do me a favor. Let me know you're on here by saying hello. Happy Saturday sales training. Also share the stream. Today what we're talking about is the importance of getting into the road to the sale, getting into the sales process. Can anybody tell me, hey, you can even answer. The first person that can answer, I don't know. I'll congratulate you. Where do you feel like the road to the sale or the process begins?
In the fact finding.
Type it in there.
Oh.
Type it in there. Okay. What is fact finding?
Getting deeper into what they're needing or wanting. Getting
What
deeper
would you
into the
do?
person.
Let's ask Larima, head ISA at GTT Homes, director of ISA. Do you know what the purpose, the meaning, the importance of fact finding is?
It allows you to know what your client is wanting and what they're needing.
What problem is it they're wanting to solve? And the most important thing you can do is discover why. Noah said, man, is Noah driving or riding? Or is he sitting in a hotel room? What do y'all think he's doing?
Dude, I know what Noah's doing. He's at Rod Run, and he's probably drunk.
What is Rod Run? Is he up there
That's
watching race cars?
No, it's just a big fest up in Gatlinburg.
Is he up
Pretty
there?
fun.
Noah, are you at the, it's what?
Rod, it's pretty fun.
What's it called?
Is it?
Rock Fest?
Rod Run.
Rod Run. Noah said greeting. Greeting is where the sales, that is where it begins. But this morning we were talking about like it's easy to greet. Everybody growing up always talks about greeting, build rapport. You know, old-timey shit that don't work anymore. Because we've moved into a new era called the information age. People hit websites a lot of times with no intent or interest of buying. As a matter of fact, studies do show, maybe Salesforce said, 95% of the time when people go onto a website, no interest of buying. They're just clicking on there. Because what does it cost? What does it cost to get on somebody's website? Costs nothing. Time. Get on there, look around writing right now. I'll be in that old school soon. Hey, be careful. Be careful, Noah. I hope you're not drunk. Hope you're not drinking. So we were taught from the 80s. We heard stuff on TV. We heard salespeople talk. Who has heard you got to build rapport? Have you ever heard that? You got to ask questions. There's one more thing though that's very important in fact finding. Remind me to say this. Okay, you over there with that toboggan on. We've been taught to build rapport. How do you build rapport today? This is a trick question. I don't think anybody can guess it. There's 3 ways you build rapport with an information age client. Do you know what?
You give them time, distance, and information.
Oh, I'm surprised he knew that.
Real quick.
I'm surprised Hayden guessed that. Today, the way you build rapport is this. Time. They're very sensitive to waste. They don't want to sit there and spend all day talking to you. Okay? They want distance. They don't want you getting up in the face. They don't want that. Time. They all want information. Everybody wants information. Give me all the information you can give. We're in the information age.
Get away from me.
So before anybody ever makes a decision, they got to get information. I got an idea. I go to a site. I'm gathering information. When I got there, here's what I was going to say. You've got to discover about fact finding. You've got to discover if they're on the right product. That is a huge mistake salespeople make. They try to sell their idea, their service, their belief to someone who thought they were on the right idea, the right product, but later we discover they're not on the right product. So you got to ask these questions to find out, like, what is the right product? Well, an indication somebody's not on the right product, they stall. They try to beat you down on price. They're not on the right product. Here's something that tricks salespeople. Just because I'm trying to beat you up on price does not mean I wouldn't go up on price. Understand the value. Some people are looking at the value. Like, I was looking at, somebody's asking me about getting back into the Stones River Country Club. And I ain't playing golf because my back sucks. Old, fat, stiff. So they're breaking down like the golf. I'm like, well, how much is it? And they say, well, like, you could do a social membership because you don't want to play golf. Social membership might be like $300 to $350 a month. Then you go over there and you eat, and it goes up. Your wife goes over there and she eats, she drinks. Yeah, so that's just the fee you got to pay. Okay, then you got the things that you buy. Well, what's a better deal? $350 for a social membership or $500 for everything? Includes golf. So see, I could go up in money if it's more value. Understanding what people want, why they want it, is extremely important. A lot of times, 57% of the time they come in and it was the wrong idea. It was the wrong product. You're trying to sell them on something that they got in there. Then they found out, like, will this click off at 15 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
How can we fix that? We need to just,
There's not any way to fix that part of it.
do we need a new one? Or is it,
You get this other one fixed, it doesn't do that.
well, you said there's no way. So
No way.
how do we fix the problem? Hey, we're fact finding. How do we fix this problem?
Get the other camera fixed.
Okay. How much is it?
I don't know. I can't get anybody to call me back from Canada. I've tried like 4 times.
All right. So people come in, they're looking for an idea. Then once they get in there, the customer decides, this ain't what I wanted. Now I've gotten in there and I might chum along with you as the salesperson. I might just keep, yeah, okay. My energy, see, here's where you got to find the awareness. Come in here, and then my energy may change. I may not be as enthusiastic. That's why I was worried about Drew's customers that were looking to build a house. At one time, they were like, I felt like they were, and you can be wrong, by the way. I'm wrong a lot. But that's why I keep asking questions to correct that. So with Drew, he had somebody that came in and they were interested, and I felt like there for a bit, they were more engaging. And as they were learning, it kind of cooled off. Sometimes people will stay engaged with you because they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to look weak. They don't want to look cheap. They want a safe face in your eyes. They're embarrassed. So that's why whenever they come in, never assume what they came in on is the right product for them. Because half the time it's not. How do you find out what the right product is for them? Questions, okay. Here's how customers make better decisions. If I came in and I was like, let's say I'm looking at your product. How much is your product?
Depends on your needs.
Okay.
Custom.
Well, let's make it simple. Give me an idea of what I would like for one past client. $100. Okay, I came in on that idea, $100. And let's just say, what would $100 get me? A little knife. 2 knives.
50 of our gifts.
How much?
50 of them.
Well, I just want to look at one customer. Like, I'm one customer and I'm looking in there at something and I'm looking and I just hit like one thing and it's $100. Okay, so what would that give me? Just make it up. It ain't got to be exact.
Something in a referral setting, kitchen, I don't know.
Okay, so now I come in there. The way you would help me the most is I just came to the site and I just happened to click on this one, okay? Now I'm talking to you. The way you help people is by giving them options. Well, hey, I could get you something cheaper, or I could get you something up here and it's going to be blah, 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 and it's going to be, $350. Now you can tell by where I go to will indicate where the right product is. Does that make sense? If I go, well, tell me about this $50 one. Tell me about that $25. What is that telling you?
Price sensitive.
Could be price sensitive, but always people don't buy off price. They buy off value. They buy off the value. So people make better decisions whenever you give them options. Remember this. I come in there and don't make it confusing options. Make it simple. Bracket it. This is 100. This is 250. This is 50. Which one do you feel like would help you the most? Why did you pick that one? What we're talking about today on Saturday sales training is when you talk to people, do you know how to get into the sales process? How you doing? Good. How's mom and them? Good. How's all that? Blah, 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 blah. At what point do you get into the sales process? What is your first question? This is what we train people over here every single day. The salesperson has to learn to control the process. They control the process by not what they say, but by what they ask. Man, you probably still have about 5 minutes, don't you? Boy, I like it. See, in the future, how could you solve that problem on Monday?
By coming in here again.
How would you solve that problem, Lorema, if you were
I'd
Van?
probably get somebody in.
There you go.
What's out done?
Van's got to do it all. He's got to do it all.
So about your
Josh, get your ass up there. When that thing hits, click that button. That's how you solve a problem. What would I do?
what would you do?
Yeah.
Kick this shit over.
If I was Van, what would I do?
Get somebody to do it.
Yeah, and hey, Josh, if that don't work, I need Hayden. Will you make sure if Josh does something, make sure that gets done? What is your first question going into the sales process? How does the salesperson start to control this process? Because if you're talking to somebody and you end up talking about the Titans and you're talking about King Henry and then you're talking about this, the next thing you know, man, hey, man, I got to go. But, man, it's damn good talking to you. Because time, you connect with me with my time. Man, I got to go. Well, man, I got to get this call. Shit, it's good talking to you. Damn good talking to you. See, your calls, they don't want to sit there and talk forever. I don't want to do that, because I want to do what I want to do. In 1980, I didn't have as many things that could get my attention. 1930, me and Van, we didn't tell nobody. We're dating. And we lived out in the hills, and we wanted to go to town. And it took us, we got on our how did we get there back then? Little old car.
Hey, we walked both ways up.
We
here
walked
on
both
the
ways. So when we got to town, we wanted, hey, Zach, what's shaking? When we got to town, we wanted to stay a little bit long because it took so long to get there. Then going back home, there wasn't shit to do except what Van wanted to do. He wanted to go out and play with the cows. He had these little cats. He was wanting to do all that stuff. So we would wake up, we'd walk all the way into town, then we'd get there. Shit, I don't want to go back. Ain't nothing to do there. Let's hang out here. Let's go walk around the little town square here. Okay? Well, today, how much can you do with your time? In 1 minute, how many thoughts do you, back then, people didn't have as many thoughts because they weren't exposed to as many things. Today, there's like thousands of thoughts that you're exposed to or that you see in like 30 minutes. Like in a minute. It's crazy. So what that does is you want to be in control of your own time, your own thoughts. I don't want to have to sit here and listen to this. Can you speed this up? Whenever we go to the gas station and it asks us a question, what does it ask us when we're pumping gas?
Would you like to say 5 cents?
Do you get annoyed?
You want to join the reward?
Does that annoy you?
Yeah.
How long does it take?
It annoys you that Saturday.
I mean, it annoys it. Does it annoy everybody? Does it annoy you, Van?
Occasionally, yeah. Not always.
Is whenever it doesn't read your chip reader
Mhm.
in your card.
You gotta go inside.
You gotta hit cancel and it's like, please see cashier. Then you're
Yeah,
like,
no, that annoys
do you go inside or do you go to a different pump?
I go to a different pump.
Okay, well, back in the old days, somebody come up there and pump it for you.
Wash your windshield.
Wash your windshield, look at your oil. Hey, and then you'd have to pay him cash. How long did it used to take? How long did it used to take to go to the gas station?
Probably a lot longer.
A bit longer.
In and out.
Cause no, it's a lot longer. How long did it used to take to go to the bank? Say what?
You think it's faster now, like pulling up, answering all those questions?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, way past.
Shit yeah. They would come out, sit there.
Good to see
I
you.
didn't
The gas pump's
really get to
faster.
experience it, but I thought like
Everything was slower back then. We didn't have Tinder. You couldn't swipe right and go get laid 10 minutes later. That didn't happen back then. You wrote a letter. You wrote a letter and you waited 3 weeks. Then you got to go meet her somewhere. That's how it used to be. It ain't like that anymore. Everything's fast. So the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Whenever you go to Jersey Mike's, and here's what I hate about these people. It's going to ask you a couple questions, then stick your card in there. Dude, just ask for the tip. Don't you hate when they say that? If you ever go there, it's going to ask you a few questions. The reason why they say that is they don't want to ask you for the tip.
how would you say it?
Man, if you feel like you've had good service, would you mind just tipping me? Or would you rather do it the sneaky way?
Well, I think
It's going to ask you a few questions.
that's an easy out.
Which way?
Easy out is, hey, it's going to ask you a few questions. I'll know.
That's right. Well, okay, see, because here's what behavior will change when you do this. If I'm going to ask you at the end to give me a tip, my service will be better from the beginning. When I go into Smoothie King, sometimes the service is good, sometimes it's terrible. I mean, sometimes it's just absolutely freaking horrible. No communication, no nothing. At the end of the process, it's going to ask you a few questions. Man, that's weak. That sucks. 2 times I've tried, and I'm just going to call some of these people out since I'm on the air. I called Texas Roadhouse. I called them a couple of weeks ago because I was going to come and get a steak salad. And when I called them, like I could probably call them right now, and they don't answer the phone. They keep trying to direct you. They keep trying to direct you to their website. And I stayed on hold yesterday for about 10 minutes with them. I'm going to go over there today maybe and just say, man, y'all got the worst customer service. See, whenever you don't put yourself in a position of where you hold yourself accountable, it's not going to be as good. Hey, if you feel like I've been good, hey, would you mind giving me a little tip? Because they're asking for it anyway. Because you got to go through the process. And they're sitting there, and you're right in front of them, and you got your little thing, and they won't even look you in the eye. Have you ever noticed that? How many of them just stand over the top of you? Do they ever do that? Here's what I'm talking about, man. Today, people, the way you're doing one thing, it's the way you're going to do everything. And it also will be the way you're going to do it whenever you're buying something. People want to save time. They want information. They want to get in and out as quickly as possible. It ain't like it used to be. So whenever you're sitting here and you're talking to somebody, whenever the server comes up, here's how. Do you want to know the God's honest truth why I want to order right then?
You never know when they're going to come back.
That's exactly right. I don't know when they'll be back. I get so annoyed whenever I go to eat with people and they come in and they go to the bathroom first. Damn, you're going to have time to go to the bathroom. Just come in here, let's get this shit done. Because the service is so bad. Okay, now, what is my expectations toward customer service of others?
You had a bad experience, so you got bad experience.
Yeah, I feel like they suck. Okay, now whenever I go somewhere, I feel I'm already judging that it's going to suck. People in sales have got to find a way to blow people's mind because everybody else has made it horrible. My expectations are so low for salespeople or service that I walk in pissed off and I leave annoyed. Just because I know you're going to suck. You're not going to do anything to make this a better, more enjoyable experience. Whenever I went there this morning, they didn't even, I don't even know if they asked me. There was no greeting. There was no enthusiasm. There was nothing good about it. The shake tasted good, though. I will give them that. It was a damn good tasting shake. So I got to come in. I got in and out. It's on my way home. The reason why I go there is because of convenience. If there was something closer to, so think about that. They could get disrupted if something came closer because I don't have a good experience. So whenever you're with people, it's never, ever, ever about your product, because they can probably get your product somewhere else. It's really about how you demonstrate that product. Are you in deep thought this morning?
Am I what?
Deep thought.
No,
What are you
I'm
doing right now? You thinking about what you're cooking for lunch?
No, I'm just absorbing it.
Tell me what you're really thinking about. An
I'm
email.
listening to you.
Are you?
Zach
Zach-
Haynes, he said, is it Sunday because there's some truth being preached in here right now?
Hey. Full throat, nonstop. Hey, I like that, Zach. Well, hey, I hate to call people out, but if you will understand this, if you will raise your expectations of what people should get, you'll do a better job. I could probably, well, I need to put that out there. Raise what you expect out of yourself, and you will do much better from the beginning. So if I'm working at a restaurant, would you ever ask this bold question? I would have, hey, if I do a great job, hey, I'd appreciate if you could tip me well. I intend to blow your mind. Okay, if you were to say that to somebody, how would your experience go? Remember, were you with me the other day? I know it was me, Weatherman. Maybe we went to serve pizza.
You're walking around trying to get a refill?
I was trying to get a damn refill. I was sitting there.
I thought he went back in the kitchen.
I did. And I walked back into the kitchen, and guess what? They didn't have the drinks in there. I don't know where the drinks. I couldn't find. The only reason why I didn't get a drink is I couldn't find it. I don't know where they were.
If you would have found it, would you have just went up, stuck it?
Yes, I would have. But I think it's back there where the oven is, and they got the old school little spray things. Think, you got to know what customers want. They don't want to sit there and they tell you about my life. Let's hear about yours. Like if a waiter or waitress is great and they're sitting there talking to you about each other's life, what is my problem when I go eat or when I go somewhere? What do I want?
You want to get in and get out?
I want to be with the person I'm with. I want to talk to them. If it's my wife or if it's Zach or if it's one of us, you want to be with that person, the person that's assisting, that's coming there. I want to make sure I've got food, I've got drink, anything I need, they're right there. If they come, I want a good attitude. They need to come and add on to what I'm experiencing. Don't make me miserable because you're not there, because you're over there, because, hey, I need this. Like whenever I go to a restaurant and here's what annoys me. I'm a condiment guy, whether it's A1, whether it's ranch. So if you come out and I'm like, hey, I need this, and minutes go by and they still don't have it, I'm annoyed. My good buddy Sean Hackinson that owns the Alley on Main, here's what he would used to do. He would go in and turn restaurants around. And whenever he would go into these failing restaurants that had a lack of sales, the first thing most of those restaurants would do is say, we need to cut our labor cost. You know what Sean said?
You got to get better.
Nope. Well, he did.
You need more people.
You need more people. How does that make sense? How does it make sense that sales are down, but we need to bring in more people to serve the people that aren't in here? Give them a better experience. It's exactly what he said. It didn't make any sense until he explained it. Now I get it. Then I apply that logic here. See, I don't feel like one customer should just talk to one person. Think about that. They're calling you and you're out in Woodbury today and they can't get a hold of you. They're just like that person. How do you deliver wow experience? How do you know how to get customers what they want? My wife's at work playing with the kids today. How are you? Oh, he's talking. Chris Clark, what's shaking, man? Why ain't you in here? Take care of them better. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Too many people are spending time in conversations that are irrelevant. Non-relevant discussion to helping me get through this process. So whenever you're talking to somebody, we teach how to go from the greeting, the purpose of what we're trying to do, and then we go into one fact-finding question. We practiced it this week. We're going to continue to practice it next week. It completely it completely changes the cadence of the interaction. Is Austin Mosier on here?
He is on.
Where is that guy? Why ain't he in here?
Man's got to work.
Van,
Yes.
I thought you were in the back. I've already gone over 4 minutes. So here's what you've got to do, and I'm going to wrap this up. whenever we talk to people about how we train, because nobody in real estate in this town trains like we do. Do you agree with that? It ain't even close. I know it ain't even close. And sometimes when we're talking to people, the first thing that they'll respond with is, well, I've already heard that. Yeah, I know that. Like imagine if Michael Jordan said, well, I already know how to do that. I already know how to post up, turn around. You already know how to do that. What's the difference between knowing how to do it and becoming great? I can tell you what it is.
Repetition.
It's something to do with 10,000 hours, 10,000 times. Think about that. Well, do you just want to know it? Do you want to know how, or do you want to be a master? That's what's going to separate people. So every single day we come in here and we start our day. I like everybody to get here at 8:15. Then we do a morning grind. That's me talking to the guys and the girls. Excuse me, sexist bastard. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Talk to the guys and the girls, and then we go into role play. What did we work on this week? You're back there.
We're working on our fact-finding
Working
question.
on fact-finding questions. People need to know how to get into the sales process. So you're talking. You can only talk for so long. How long is our greeting?
5 seconds.
5 to 15.
5 to 15. We don't need more than that. Because I'm sitting here. I've got you for borrowed time. A long phone conversation for our people is 2 minutes. Ain't it?
Yes.
Hayden was saying, man, I can be on the phone with somebody, seems like forever, and I look down, hang up, it's been 1 minute and 57 seconds. Didn't even get my damn credit.
Pissed.
Man, whenever you get really, really good, you can get a lot of information out of somebody in 2 minutes. It's crazy. Some people can't get any information from people in 10 minutes. They sit there and they stay involved in non-relevant discussion. So every single day at 9 o'clock, like Hayden said, we show up and we're going in this past week, we role play and we're going into a fact-finding question. Now, Hayden, I've given you all week for this.
Yes.
So let's hear can everybody hear when Hayden talks, Van?
Yep.
All right. So Hayden, when did you start working on your fact-finding question?
I believe it was Tuesday.
Okay. So now here's what I want to ask you. How much have you practiced?
A lot.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
Hey, Tommy, what we found is when people are looking at homes online, they usually fall into one or two categories. One being they're gathering information on the market, maybe housing inventory, maybe even different loan options, or they're in the other category and they've gathered enough information that they want to get out, look at some homes, and possibly make a decision within the next 6 months. Where would you say you fall in one of these two categories?
Okay. Now that's a little long, but it's a good question. Because now you've gotten me into a process to where we'll probably just gather information because I'm picking between this or that. I'm probably going to pick where I'm safe, but it's better than this. Oh man, we're just like, what was some of the questions we would used to ask?
Bigger or smaller?
Well, that's not a terrible question either. Most people are going to call up. Most people are going to call up. I just want to make sure you got all the information you're looking for. That does not help control the process. Hey, just want to make sure you got on here, you got all the information you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Thanks for calling.
that's what happens.
Thanks for calling.
All right, well, see, you've got to learn how to control the process, and most people don't do that. They say something and the call's over, and now they're annoyed. So they still could get annoyed.
Are you
because
looking to buy a house, Tommy?
No, man, I'm just looking. Okay, that's how most people are trained. Now our guys, and I'm wrapping this up in 2 minutes, Van. So most people, they call and I'll listen to them, and they don't even sound the same. Like one call, they say one way, and then the next time they call, it sounds a different way, and then it's a different way, and it just continues to be different. We build the muscle of doing it the same way every single time. We're not talking to the same person every single time. It's a different person, but it's the same call structure. So hold on before you shut us down, Van. Let's brag on Hayden. Hayden has made, well, I'm going to go back since probably we got into this CRM system. Hayden has made 5,500 phone calls. Drew's made 2,500 phone calls. Hayden has talked to 392 people. Drew has talked to 218. Josh has talked to 526 people. He's made 4,400 phone calls. What do you think is going to happen when Hayden does the same? He does the same. Now, we've changed it because I believe we get a little bit better. But Hayden is approaching the masterpiece. I think when you make 10,000 phone calls, and people are going to say, well, how many people did you call? Or how many did you talk to? Or how many appointments did you set? Why do I not care about that?
Because it's more about the action and the target.
Working the muscle.
It's more about building the courage, the muscle, the target. It's more about those things. It's more about an intangible thing. So whenever you get out around people, you're not nervous. You've got in-game experience. That's why we do this. People don't understand what I'm tracking. What is my return here? My return is working on your inside. Everybody, every Saturday, 10 o'clock, we'll come to you live. Got any questions, ask. Have a great weekend.